All right, everybody, welcome to part 4 in our 2019 self-care series. So this is Allie Phillips. Hello, everybody. I decided to turn on my video. I can't remember if I've done that for the other videos, but thought I would turn it on to say hello to those who are here live and those who are watching the recording. So we are going to be talking about self-care in work. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get pretty riled up about this topic. So hang on, because it's going to be a pretty interesting ride in this webinar. So I am going to talk about some different techniques and products, and they're not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. And so if you are not familiar with who I am and why I am very passionate about this topic, I am a former prosecuting attorney. I have been an attorney for 25 years. I am a legal educator and a public speaker for the criminal justice system, and I travel the world doing that. I'm also an award-winning author. I'm an advocate for animals and families experiencing violence. I am the CEO of a nonprofit that I created called Sheltering Animals and Families Together. I also own my own healing business called Manifested Harmony, and I'm an essential oil educator where I also travel the world teaching about essential oils. And because of all of that, I'm clearly a self-care seeker, because being multi-careered, it is really easy to get out of balance. And if you haven't gotten your copy of The Oily Pet, please do. You can go to my website, and I even have discounted prices for bulk buying if you want to hand it out to your team. But this is because so many people are very concerned about using oils with their pets, and even people who use Young Living are very concerned. So I have broken it all down to give you comfort in using your Young Living oils with pets. All right, so like I said, we are in our 4th month of 2019, which kind of freaks me out a little bit because the year is going quite fast. And so we are in Self-Care in Work Month. And if you are interested in joining other webinars, they are going to be the first or the second Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next month, we're talking about financial fitness. Oh, like another hot button topic. All right, and I dedicated 2019 to my year of self-care, and I'm sharing my journey on my Instagram page and on the Manifested Harmony Facebook page, where today I posted my 100th post, because we are 100 days into 2019, and I have been posting a self-care tip that I am engaging in every year. Because when I think about all the people that are struggling and sacrificing themselves in order to care for other people, you're actually doing them a disservice. So I'm choosing to take care of myself in 2019 and hoping to inspire others to do the same. And so, yes, we are in self-care in your work month. So the first thing that I want to recommend, and you can jot this down, is especially when we talk about, when I get to talking about passion work, if you have no clue what you are passionate about, and you're actually looking for some passion work, go to clarityonfire.com and take their quiz. And it's 11 questions. It's a super easy quiz, and it's just going to point you in the right direction and give you some guidance. But when I think about self-care in work, what always comes to mind is, are you waking up with excitement each day? Because if you're not, something needs to change. Do you have people in your life that support what you want to do in the form of work? Because if you don't, that's got to change. Are your days fulfilling? Do you get to the end of the day? Like, do you get to right now at the end of the day and say, that was a good day? Do you? Because this needs to happen every single day. Every single day, you should be able to feel good about what you're doing. And are you too exhausted to actually be passionate about anything, to actually think about changing how you spend your days. Because that's a lot of people that I talk to. And they say, Allie, I would love to do something that I'm passionate about. I'm just too busy to even think about it. And it's like, what is the point of what you're doing here on this planet if you're not doing what you are supposed to be here to do? So this is a real hot button topic, and I may push some buttons that are really good for you, but I may push some buttons that make you feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to apologize right up front, but it's all for our best interest and our best self. So I started thinking about this, and seriously, I could teach a full day class on this topic. I really could. I am really going to try to get this webinar in an hour. There is that much to cover. And so I'm not covering nearly what I want to. But when I think about the workday, and let's say that you work an average 8-hour day and you work 40 hours a week. And let's say that you get 8 hours of sleep a night. You are spending 1/2 of your waking life in the workplace. And so if you are not passionate about it, if you are not fulfilled by it, if you are not excited to start your workday, if you do not feel like you did good by the end of the workday, you are wasting half of your life. And that is a brutal truth that we all need to hear. We really do. And this has nothing to do with how much you're educated or where you came from or any of your background. We all have something that we are here to do that we're passionate about. And if you don't find it, it is going to take a dramatic toll on you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So let's talk about these work pathways. All right. So this is how I see it. You can either have a job or you can have a career, because they're two very different things. And I've had both, and simultaneously I've had both. So when I think of a job, you spend your day earning money. And that's all it is. You spend your day earning money. And you can do it in a couple of different ways. You can have a full-time job that you don't enjoy, or you can have a full-time job that you enjoy, but you know you're going nowhere. You are just exchanging time for money. It is a money-earning venture. And if you won the lottery, you would quit that job. That's what a job is. Now, a career is different, because a career is where you spend your day creating opportunities for yourself and opportunities for other people. And so again, this comes down to two different pathways. You can have a full-time career that you don't enjoy, or you can have a full-time career that you enjoy, but you long for more. That's where I was for a very long time. Because as an attorney, I can tell you, and I don't even know what the recent numbers are, but I remember reading a study very early on in my career that 98% of attorneys are dissatisfied with their career. That's horrid. I mean, that's just horrible. That's horrible. I loved my legal work, and I am loving how I've transitioned it into something different. So if you have a full-time career and you don't enjoy it, again, you are spending a lot of time doing something that is not beneficial for you. And see, what this all comes down to, and I hear this from so many people, and I've actually been in this position a couple of times, where if you don't enjoy your work, it is soul draining. It drains your soul and your energy. You don't want to go to work. You count the hours until you can take a break, take lunch, until Friday comes, or until you can take a vacation. This is not any way to live your life. And this is 100% not self-care. And you will begin to suffer it. You will feel it physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And the longer that you stay, the harder it gets to leave. And I hear this all the time, because I have a lot of friends who work for the government, and they get to that point very early on, like usually 5 years in, and they're like, oh, I just can't leave. I'm too vested. And it's like, well, you are vested in killing your life. That's what that is. Because you can switch and go do something that you love and still get your bills paid for, because we live in a world where we need money, and money in the hands of good people does good things. So one thing that I have been noticing is for the people who have a full-time career but long for more, they are doing multiple work. They don't have just one career anymore. I have so many friends that have side businesses. And when I say side, sometimes it's part-time, sometimes it's a hobby, but sometimes it's full-time. That's where I'm at. I have 2 full-time careers. And it's because we want more. We know that we're destined to do more. We want to use our creativity. We have a passion. We want to make it happen. Now, there is a third pathway here where you have full-time work, you love it, but you want to have a little passion project on the side. That's another pathway. And then the last pathway is where you don't like your work, or maybe you're retired, or you haven't worked, and you don't have anything that you're passionate about. You feel lost. I know a lot of people like this, where they just haven't found what will get them up in the morning. And so they're just kind of waking up. Maybe they're going to work, maybe they're doing something, and they go home and they go to sleep and they do it all again the next day. They don't really have anything that's firing them up. And years go by, nothing changes, and they start getting more depressed. They don't realize that that's where their depression is coming from. And then it just keeps replicating that way. And this is why self-care is so important, because there's a lot of reasons why this is happening. There's a lot of reasons why people are staying in dead-end jobs. There's a lot of reasons why people are staying in soul-draining careers surrounded by toxic people. There's a lot of reason why people don't have passion projects that wake them up in the morning. But underneath it all, what I hear is people don't physically have the energy. And that's self-care. They're lacking in it dramatically. Because if physically you don't feel good, you're never going to have the emotional energy to be passionate about something or even figure it out. And you're not going to have the mental energy to make it happen. And you're not even going to get to the spiritual level where you feel fulfilled. So at the end of the webinar, I'm going to talk about some products that I'm working with people to really get them re-energized. And so the question is, what is your passion? What is your passion? So here's the interesting thing. Passion actually comes from the Latin word pati, which means suffering. And when I saw that, I was like, what? Passion means suffering? Are you kidding me? What? But then I thought about it. When we are passionate about something, we are willing to suffer to make it happen. We are. We are willing, during our full-time job or full-time career, to start something on the side. Even though it means that we'll come home at the end of a long day from a job that maybe really does drain us, but we will conjure up the energy for an hour or two each night to work on that passion project or that passion business. We'll spend weekends working on it. We will give up mindlessly scrolling through social media so that we can work on that. We'll give up our favorite television shows so that we can work on that. We'll say no to going out so that we can work on that. So we are willing to suffer to make it happen because we know what the end result is and how it's going to make us feel. So the question becomes, are you willing to put in the time and the effort and the money and the soul to make it happen? Because if not, it comes down to 2 things. Either keep looking because you haven't found it, or you need self-care because you just cannot conjure up the physical or emotional energy to make it happen. But here's the thing, when you do work that you love, it releases endorphins in the body and you feel better. I mean, it's an awesome form of self-care to do work that you love. But I will tell you, this is not easy because you have to change. You have to change something in your life to do your passion work. You have to give up things in order to make room for this. And people around you may push back and say, I don't like that. I don't like it that he or she's not available anymore. I don't like it that you're changing. It's your life. It's not theirs. So you can use that as an excuse and you can stay where you are, but I can guarantee you, you will regret it with every passing day, week, month, and year, because I see it play out on New Year's Eve, where people set all of these grand plans for the coming year. I'm going to do this, and here's my goal, and this, that, and the other thing. And when I check in with them 2 months into the year, not only have they done nothing, they've already forgotten about their goal. And it's because they're just staying stuck. And that's a choice. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So, can you really have self-care in your work? So whether you have a job or a career or are multi-careered and have some passion work, how can you find self-care? If you are in a mind-numbing, soul-draining, toxic environment, how can you find self-care while you work on your passion work? It's important to know where you are because your level of self-care relates to where you are. So here's the thing. We all have choices in how we spend our day. We do. We have choices. For anybody who doesn't think that you have a choice, private message me and we'll have a conversation about it. We all have free will. You have a choice. No one is so set that you can't make a change. So if you feel like you are stuck in your job or your career, that is a mindset that you own. You own it. You have decided that. But that means you can change it. If you feel like you're just too far into your job and that, retirement is so close, it'd be silly to leave. And I'm not telling anybody to ditch their job. But if you just feel that you're too far in, again, that is a mindset that you have chosen. You have chosen to believe that. If you feel like you don't have the time to start your passion project or your passion job on the side, again, that is your mindset. That is your choice. No one is stopping you. And so when I hear people say, well, Allie, you don't understand. I have a spouse that X, Y, Z. I have kids. I have health issues. I have financial constraints. I know people with spouses. I know somebody with 14 children who worked full-time and created a side business that is hugely successful. I know people with health issues who are hugely successful in creating their passion work. So whenever I hear that, it's like, well, that's a choice. You are choosing to let that stand in your way. So enjoy that life because that is exactly what you'll have. So how does that make you feel? So if you're here on the live webinar, type me a comment. How does that make you feel? If that has been your reasoning that, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, that's your choice. If you say you don't have time, then your wish is my command. You don't have time. It's all a mindset. But here's the thing. When you look back on your work life that you've had so far, so like from today, looking in the past, do you actually smile about it and feel like, gosh, that has been time well spent? I feel fulfilled. I feel really good about that. Or do you look back and think, what the hell have I done? I'd love to know. I'd love to know that. Because if we feel like our work is a waste of time and no one cares about what we do, then that is a clear signal that you are meant for more. You are meant for greater. So one of the biggest self-care steps. I want you to screenshot this. If you know how to screenshot on your computer, I want you to screenshot this. One of the biggest self-care steps you can take when it comes to your work is to spend your time doing something that lights you on fire, that excites you to start the day, that keeps you engaged all day long, where you don't TGIF, because it doesn't matter. You'd be doing it on Saturday and Sunday. And you don't count the days until vacation. And you actually lose track of time. To where you get to 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you think, I forgot to have lunch. Yeah, that's me a lot of days. It all comes down to finding what you would do whether you are paid or not. And what contribution you can leave to this world. Because when you can take those two things and put them together and actually get paid for it, you are now engaging in the best form of self-care in work, because you are taking care of yourself and you are giving your gifts to the world. Because the whole thing about finding your passion work, it means that you found your calling, and you know it when you find it. And a lot of people know what it is, they just don't know how to find the work. But I can tell you, for everything that we're passionate about, there's a job that'll pay you for it. So I'm reading some of the comments right now. So one of the comments is, I'm working on changing my mindset. I don't want to be in the job I have right now, but working on developing my passion of helping people live a cleaner lifestyle to include young living. Yeah, absolutely. And you know that's possible, because do you know what's going on in Seville, Spain right now? The Diamond Retreat of people who make 5 figures a month doing what they love while helping people. Talk about contributing to the health of the planet by helping people and pets feel well. Like, I have goosebumps when I say that, and that's why I do it. Because people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when you can contribute, it's amazing. So, this is kind of a bitter pill. Do you have an abundance or a lack mentality? Because this is your biggest self-care indicator. This tells you where you're at when it comes to self-care in the workplace. So if you have an I can't attitude rather than an I can attitude, that is something you absolutely can control and can work on. An I can't attitude is a lack mentality. An I can mentality is abundance. So I hear a lot of people talk about how work is a four-letter word, like in a bad way. And those people, that's telling me where they are with self-care when they think of their work as a 4-letter word. So for those who are spending their day doing work that brings them joy and brings contribution, they tend to have the most abundant mindset, because they know they're in control of that. And when you know that you are in control of your response to everything, and you're in control of your work, you're in control of how your day plays out. That triggers an abundant mindset, which then triggers you doing all of that great work. But those who are in mind-numbing and soul-draining jobs tend to have the lack mindset because they feel stuck. They feel stuck. So your mindset is going to determine whether you can pull yourself out of your situation and into the one that you desire. It is all up here. So if I were to ask you, how would you spend your days if you didn't have to worry about money? What is your first thought? Type it in the chat. Because if your first thought was, that'll never happen, or you can't even think of what you would do, that is a clear indicator that you are in desperate need of self-care in your work, and you need a mindset shift. And there are a lot of mindset classes out there, a lot. But we can also use our essential oils to shift our mindset. So I'm seeing a theme here in the chat about caring for animals. So yeah, those are paid positions. All the shelters, paid positions. And whether it's behaviorists or groomers or, having a boarding facility, it's all paid. You can actually get paid to do what you love. So you're probably wondering, Allie, why are we now going to talk about the solar plexus chakra? This is going to be very eye-opening because this is the chakra that is going to determine whether you pursue your passion work or not. This is awesome. So this is how we start this process. I'm going to start giving you tips now on what to do. So the solar plexus is actually located in our midsection, around our stomach, and it's also our power center, but it is also the center involving the relationship with ourself. If our power center is imbalanced, that can detrimentally impact our work and how we relate to others, and whether we actually have the self-motivation to pursue our dreams. So when I hear people say, Allie, I'm too tired. I don't have the energy at the end of the day or on the weekend. I'm just scrambling to keep going. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I go to bed. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I go to bed. Yeah, your power center is imbalanced. And if we are imbalanced in the relationship to ourself, that can stop us in our tracks when it comes to knowing our purpose in life, pursuing our purpose, and finding the mechanism to be paid in our passion work. Because bills are a part of life. They are. But this also impacts whether we feel that we're worthy of even having the dream or the goal. Because a lot of people that I ask, hey, if you didn't have to worry about money, what would you do? Blank. They have no idea. They don't even give themselves the permission to dream. This is all based in the solar plexus. So if you detest your work, but you don't know what your dream job is, this is an issue. This is absolutely an issue. So the physical body that is affected by the solar plexus includes our stomach, our adrenals, which is our get up and go, cortisol organs, our digestion, our liver, gallbladder, spleen, and pancreas. So how many times have you gone to work? If you have a job that you are not a good fit for and you don't like it, how many times have you gone to work with kind of a pit in your stomach and you leave at the end of the day and you just don't feel good? This is telling you something. Your body is telling you, get out, because eventually it's going to turn into something physical. It will. So physically, like with these organs, your solar plexus is out of balance if you experience indigestion, anything related to the digestive system, belching, diarrhea, constipation, if you have excessive sugar or salt cravings, if you have an eating disorder or even excessive thirst, that's telling you something. Now, if your solar plexus is balanced, you are a person who is responsible and reliable, you're confident, you have positive self-esteem, you're playful, you're humorous, you're able to control your emotions around people in the workplace, and you have a warm personality. We all know these people. They're great to be around. They have a really balanced solar plexus. And oftentimes it's because they are in the work that they are passionate about. And no one can throw them off. No one can throw them off. They're going to just keep going ahead with a smile on their face and being warm and welcoming. If your solar plexus is depleted or it's insufficient, you can experience being weak, like weak-willed, unreliable. You're easily manipulated. You have poor discipline, lack of focus. You're emotionally cold. You're kind of shut down. You feel like a victim, like, well, I'm stuck and I can't get out of this job. And you blame others when things go wrong. So that is a clear sign that your solar plexus is depleted and insufficient. Now, what about the flip side? When your solar plexus is overworking, it's inflamed, it's excessive, it's overproducing. You'll experience getting angry all the time. Little things make you angry. You have the need to be right. You have to have the last word. You're stubborn, you're domineering, you're controlling, you're power hungry. We all know people like this in the workplace. Those jobs are not a good fit for them. They're not. And if you have a boss like that, you are not a good fit to be in that position. So with this, can you see how your solar plexus can impact you in your work, in your relationships in work, how you view your work, how you view your coworkers, and even how you can identify and pursue your passion? Can you see that? Isn't that interesting? So if you've been frustrated in your work, if you've been feeling unworthy to even dream of doing something different, or you're just unable to get a passion job or a passion project off the ground, this is the chakra that you want to get in balance. So let's talk about some techniques. So I put this chart up in every webinar because to me, it is the top 10 things that if you do these every single day, it's easy self-care that's going to help you in the workplace. Choosing joy, choosing gratitude, and giving yourself self-love, number 1. Number 2, use essential oils in the shower before you go to work because you're infusing yourself. Drink Ningxia Red, you're infusing yourself and you're giving yourself energy. Put essential oils in your water and drink them throughout the workday. You're giving yourself energy and positivity. Use essential oils in your skincare routine. Give yourself quiet time every day. And for people who say to me, Allie, I don't have time, well, then you know what? Your life is a runaway train. Sorry, it's a runaway train and it's not your life anymore. So do you want your life back? You give yourself 5 to 10 minutes of quiet time every day because it's really going to rejuvenate you. Adding whole foods at every meal, something that looks like it is in its original form. So that's nothing from a bag, a box, or a drive-through window. Okay? Moving and stretching, get moving. Using Progestins Plus at bedtime. That is something that every woman, if you're a man, don't use it. It's not for you, but every woman should use, and it's safe. And then putting essential oils in your diffuser at night so that you get good sleep, so that you can wake up and be energetic and passionate the next day. This is like my top 10. Do these every day. It's going to change your life. But let's go a little bit further. So what are some techniques to help you change so you're stuck? You feel like you're stuck in this job, or you're stuck and you don't know your passion work. So I break it into 3 different categories. The first category is let's find your passion mission. Let's find it. So here are some things that you can do, and these may sound a little crazy, but they do work. They do work. So spring is the best time to cleanse the body. People who try to lose weight on January 1st are doomed to fail because the body is meant to hold weight through the winter. Right now in spring, this is when we drop weight. And you can do it through a cleanse. And when you cleanse your body, you're physically going to feel good because physically, if you don't feel well, you are never going to have the energy to pursue anything that you want. You're going to wake up, go to work, come home, go to bed. That's what you're going to do. You're going to have no energy to do anything. So cleanse the body. And I'm going to talk about products in a couple of slides. You also want to, so that's decluttering your body. You also want to declutter your living and your workspace. So you can call it a spring clean, but it's getting junk out of your house. It's creating a space in your home where you can work on your passion project. And this needs to be off limits to other people. It really does. If you don't have a space, do you have a corner where you can put a little table? Create a space for yourself to do this and clean the energy around it so that you can actually think and create, because clutter has an energy to it and it will drag you down and weigh you down. It's why the whole Marie Kondo decluttering is taking off like crazy, because people feel the difference. I've done it. It's amazing. It's amazing. But you also want to declutter your technology. So this is where start unsubscribing from emails that you don't read. Delete things that are going to distract you. And when you are working on your passion project or passion job, turn off your technology. So I am so famous, it makes people mad. I don't even have my ringer on my phone. I don't. Because every noise that this makes is distracting. The sound is off. I let myself look at my phone once every 2 hours when I'm deeply working on my passion work. If there's an emergency, I'll get it in 2 hours. It's off right now because I'm focused on you all. Same thing with your computer. Shut everything down. Don't even have Facebook or email in the background. Shut it down. It'll help you because you'll be able to laser focus your productivity rather than being distracted. So I was reading, I'm a big girl fan of Rachel Hollis, and I was reading her latest book, Girl Stop Apologizing, and she has a chapter on productivity, and she was telling in her book how she likes to sit in coffee houses and write. I love to sit in coffee houses. I can laser focus around that energy. I mean, I've written books on airplanes. That's just how I'm wired. Not everybody is. But she said she was sitting in a coffee house and she kept looking around at all of these people, and they had all of these great intentions. Like they would have their computer or their tablet, and they had their calendar, and they had colored pens and pencils and a to-do list. And about 5 minutes in, they started playing on Instagram. And they didn't get any of their work done that they were supposed to. So you have got to declutter your technology and give yourself the space to do this. I also recommend planning a one-day spring retreat. Okay, we're in spring. So before you go to bed tonight, I want you to find a day on your calendar before summer. When does summer come? Like June 21st? All right, so you have May, June. So you got a solid 2.5 months to find a day. A day. It'd be really awesome if you took a day off from work and you go somewhere. And even if you just sit and think, what do I want to do? And then map out the steps. That'll be the best day that you spend, because that'll launch you. It'll absolutely launch you. I love doing this. I do this all the time. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Also, for finding your passion mission is looking for signs and signals and symbols, because they're going to wake you up. So you need to get your face out of your phone and look around you, because you're going to see a book. You're going to see a billboard. You're going to see a bumper sticker on a car that tells you something. A song's going to come on the radio. Like a song that I just love, and you've probably never heard of it. It's called Believe by Chilliwack. It's on the Yacht Rock station on Sirius XM. I know, I'm such a geek. I love that station. That Believe song, every time it comes on, I am having a conversation in my brain about something that I don't think is going to happen, and bam, it comes on the radio, and I'm like, thank you. I needed to hear that. Look for signs, but you have to be present to look for signs. And then when you figure out what your passion is, you tell somebody, because you need an accountability partner or a support person, so that when you have those moments, which you're going to have, when you want to quit, when you think that you're not good enough, you need to call that person and say, I don't think I can do this. And this needs to be a supportive, positive, abundant mindset person who's going to pull you up. Okay? We need that person. All right? Second thing is to pursue on purpose. Pursue your purpose on purpose. So here's the thing. When we play it safe, we're stuck. People who live on purpose live longer and better lives. And so this is why I talked in the beginning, you got to be willing to change. So think of so for the Young Living people, I haven't even looked to see who's here. Live. Oh yeah, I got Young Living people here. All right, so think about it this way. Think how different our world would be if Gary Young had listened to the skeptics and decided to play it safe. We wouldn't have any of this. We would not even know each other. Imagine if you took the bold, audacious steps that Gary did, who you could end up connecting with and having in your life, and what you could do and change. I mean, I don't even have a copy here. Where is my book? My Oily Pet book. That came to me after a retreat. I sat and wrote it in a weekend, and now it's published. I've sold 500 copies of that book. That's crazy. It's not even on Amazon. When you let yourself change and become unstuck, amazing things are going to happen because you will allow yourself to receive. So I see this all the time. We say we want things to happen. We do nothing to make the dream come true, but then a sign, a symbol, an opportunity comes in front of you, knocks on your door, and you ignore it because you're doing this on your phone. You ignore it. Be open and look for the signs, because when you ask for something, things start to move and conspire to bring it to you. But we are often so unpresent that we don't even see it. So you're going to get ideas, you're going to see books, you're going to see classes and other opportunities, but you have to remain open and looking for it and be eager. Look for it. And that's what waking up with excitement every day is going to bring to you, because excitement is eagerness. And as you hustle for your passion job, also hustle for joy and fun, because all work and no play is no one that anyone wants to hang around with. And I've learned this the hard way, because I had somebody 2 years ago challenge me to a fun challenge. And I did it. I did it for 7 days, and it really shifted things for me. And my self-care that I'm going through, a lot of it's fun. I'm posting it publicly so that people can see, because people are too dang serious. And it's so easy to get so work-oriented. Trust me, I know this. 70, 80-hour weeks, that's my norm. But I put fun in. And it's never the amount of time. Like some people say to me, well, Allie, you're not very balanced if you're working that much. It's never about the number of hours. It's the quality of the time. So I can work a 70-hour week and then spend 20 minutes outside grounding. And to me, that's balance. So consciously add in joy and fun. And then envision and be intentional. You've got to write stuff down. I know a lot of people like to put things on their phone and online, but I will tell you, get a day planner and you attach it to your hip. You got to write stuff down, because there is something that happens in our brain that when we write stuff down, we are more likely to make it happen. If you type it or if you think it, that's not going to work. Create a vision board. Like I'm sitting here in my office, I've got a vision board here, 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 and here. I'm surrounded by vision boards, because it'll help you get clear on what you want. Because a lot of times we're kind of fuzzy on what we want. Get really clear, and get clear on the feelings of what you want, not on the stuff. Focus on the feelings. How do you want to feel? Like I love to travel, and I want the feeling of traveling first class because I've had a taste of it. And it's like, oh, I kind of like that. So it's the feeling of first class travel. That's what I'm going for. And I can put locations up here. You know, I've got locations all over my vision board, but they're photos that make me feel. So when you do your vision board, make sure that you're putting feeling into it. Also, write down what you need to do in order to succeed, and put that in your calendar, because so often I hear from people, saying, Allie, I don't even know what to do to get started. That's where you've got to give yourself your 1-day spring retreat. You've got to give yourself downtime every day. You've got to take your planner and write out what you need to do. And if the first step is, like if you want to work at an animal shelter, okay, step number 1, work on my resume. What is that? Find somebody to help me write a resume. Write my resume. Number 2, look online. Go to Indeed.com. Search online. Spend 15 minutes every day. When you have that list, you can then put it into your calendar and you know exactly what to do every day. And you will never waste time wondering, what do I do? Because that's where people don't succeed. So when you put that in your calendar, you're going to succeed. Number 3, embrace your self-worth. So here's the thing. Separate your self-worth from your productivity. This has been a hard lesson for me, but I think I'm getting there. I'm a work in progress. Keep moving. And don't attach how you feel about yourself to your productivity, because you may look like a duck on the surface, but underneath the water, your little web feet are spinning, and you may feel like you're not moving very fast and you're doing a lot of stuff. Don't let that impact your self-worth. Keep going. Keep going. Do not compare yourself with anyone, because you may be at the beginning of this, whereas somebody else is in the middle and they're having different results. Fear of missing out, FOMO, is a part of this. Give yourself space every day to nurture yourself in your dream, even if it means you got to miss out on other stuff. But do not compare yourself to other people. Everyone is in a different place. I hear this all the time, especially when it comes to my Young Living team and people who feel like doing the business, they look at me and I'm like, don't look at me. I'm a totally different person than you are. I'm a totally different personality. I have very different skills. You know, everybody's got different skills to bring to the table. Don't compare. It will kill your joy. Work on your confidence. So it's affirmations on your vision board, all over your house, affirmations that you are good enough, you are qualified enough, you have what it takes, you have perseverance, you have stamina, you have strength, you're not giving up, you're not a quitter. That's a big one. It needs to be a big sign that says, I don't quit. Anyone who tells you otherwise should be removed from your life. And that includes your inner voice. If your inner voice is saying that, you need to drown it out with affirmations that you say out loud every day. Get your solar plexus in shape, okay? Because this is going to rebound and you're going to regenerate if you get your solar plexus in shape. I'm going to talk about that next. So here's something interesting about boosting confidence. I saw this recently. Men apply for jobs when they feel 60% qualified, whereas women wait until they're 100% qualified. That's ridiculous. Put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. When I think of every single legal professional job I've ever had, I did not feel qualified, but I very quickly became qualified. This is the difference between women and men. We just talk ourselves out of it, and you got to stop that. This is boosting your confidence because you can do it. And then the last thing is be very choosy about who you spend your time with. You are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. Avoid people who drain you or don't support you. Remove toxic people from your life. Think of who's holding you back. And instead, flip that around and find people who have the trait that you want and hang out with them. If you are the most qualified person or the most positive person in your group of 5, you need a new group. Always group up, because those people will lift you up. All right, let's talk about some other techniques that will support you. And a lot of this goes to balancing the solar plexus. So let go of anger. Anger stores in the solar plexus. Especially if anyone has ever told you that you're not worthy of your dreams, you can't have your passion work that'll support you. Have you ever heard that? Oh, you can't, that job will never pay your bills. I mean, I think a lot of artists hear that. A lot of artists, a lot of dancers. I heard that. A lot of people are surprised that I had no desire to be an attorney or go to college. I was going to be a choreographer. But I had told me time and time again, you'll never make money on that. You'll get injured and then you'll be out of work. And I believed it. And now I'm a lawyer. It ended up being okay, but you need to let that go. So if you're angry about this, you got to let it go. Go outside and yell. Like, just go. Just go outside and yell. Punch a pillow. But you've got to get it out of your system before it tears you up and literally ruins your insides. Because it's going to ruin your work, it's going to ruin your relationships, it's going to kill your passion. And if there's a person that you're angry at with work, either avoid them or find a way to talk to them. Another thing that you can do is chant the word "oh." You can Google sound healing for the solar plexus and play it online. But if you just chant "oh," oh my gosh, it feels so good. It feels so good. You got to do that. Say affirmations like, I love and accept myself just as I am. I respect myself. I believe in myself. I am worthy. I can accomplish anything. I can solve all problems that come up. I'm capable. I'm confident. Google affirmations for work. Google affirmations for your solar plexus. Sing, laugh, and dance. Even if somebody's watching, do it like nobody's watching, because that absolutely balances the solar plexus. And it's fun. You got to have fun while you're doing this. Eat yellow foods. So yellow is the color that resonates with the solar plexus. So yellow actually has a frequency to it that matches the frequency of the solar plexus. And if you eat yellow foods like bananas and yellow peppers and lemons and sunflower seeds, that is actually going to nourish your solar plexus. Do core strength yoga. If you don't know what that means, Google it or go to a yoga studio and take core strength yoga. That'll strengthen your solar plexus. Go out in sunshine. Sunshine is yellow. Yellow is the solar plexus. That's going to rejuvenate your solar plexus. Liberally use essential oils that are citrus. So orange, tangerine, lemon, lemongrass, lime. Add in ginger or cardamom and even thieves. These all resonate and feed the solar plexus. Topically apply them on your stomach. If you need to use a carrier oil because some of these are hot oils or photosensitive, do that. But do this every day. Like, do this every day that you are going into your current job or career, because it'll get you balance to help give you the strength to do what you want to do. And maybe, even as I'm talking about this, maybe there is something in your company that you want to do. Like, you love your company, you just don't love your job. Use these essential oils. And then if you're a crystal person, we're going for the yellows and even the greens, like the chartreuse sort of green crystals. So citrine, golden healer quartz, tiger's eye, serpentine, green aventurine are amazing. And if you work on your solar plexus and do something daily to nurture it back into balance, you're going to see amazing transformations happen. And so when it really comes to doing this, it's about self-motivating you. No one can motivate you to do this. I go to a lot of conferences and I get very motivated by the speaker, but it is my job when that speaker is done to motivate myself after that. So if this is kind of getting you excited and riled up, like, oh my gosh, I think I can do this. When this webinar ends, you have to run. You have to take this baton. I'm handing you the baton, and you have to run with it. No one can motivate you. If you are not internally self-motivated, it's not going to happen. Because without self-motivation, nothing works. But with self-motivation, nothing else matters. You're going to make it happen. And this is the difference that I see in people who are entrepreneurs. They've started their own businesses. They're doing their own side business until they can leave their job. They are self-motivated. No one told them what to do. No one asked them to do it. No one encouraged them to do it. They did it. And so when I had my full-time legal work in Washington, D.C., I started sharing Young Living. No one told me to do it. No one was talking about doing it back then, 5 years ago. I just started doing it. People started signing up. I didn't know what that meant. I started getting a commission check. I didn't know what that meant. I just did it. And I was self-motivated to do it. When you are self-motivated, you will do it and you will persevere. Let's talk about some products to really get this going. So let's talk about your physical body. This is my monthly challenge for my oil team, is to have them taking Comfort Tone, Detoxime, and Ningxia Red, because the cleansing trio is out of stock. So I made up my own. So here's the thing. If you feel physically crappy, how well are you going to show up for your work or creating your passion work? You won't. But when you feel great, you feel confident, and confidence absolutely impacts your work and what you want to create. So Comfort Tone actually cleans out the digestive system. So not eating properly can weigh us down physically. And when we're stressed or working long hours, we may eat fast food or comfort food. Don't get me wrong. I get really stressed. I go for a bag of organic cheese popcorn from Whole Foods. I just do. I don't do it all the time. But that's what a lot of people do. And when we're coming out of winter, this can make us realize that we're actually physically sluggish. So this capsule is packed with herbs and essential oils that are so gentle, you can keep focused on your work and your passion projects. And it's going to bring back your energy. So I use this about 2 to 3 times a year for a couple of weeks at a time, and it's amazing how my energy rebounds. Then add in Detoxime. This is another capsule, and it's one of Young Living's amazing enzyme products that detoxes and cleans your digestive system while infusing your body with essential oils and enzymes so that you can actually digest your food and get the energy from it. So it pairs very nicely with Comfort Tone. It's perfect for those who eat nuts and seeds and grains in their diet because it has the enzymes to break those down. So another great product to bring back energy so that you can do what you need to do. And then Ningxia Red. Okay, we all know that this feeds and fuels the body and all the body systems, and it's going to give you natural energy rather than grabbing caffeine throughout the day. So drinking 2 ounces a day can support your body so that even if you're working long hours, even if you're working all day and you're coming all home at night and working on your passion project and you're working on your passion on the weekend, you're going to stay naturally strong rather than artificially strong. Now, for your emotional body, Young Living's Ula Field Oil. So here's the thing. Are you using your natural gifts at work or in your passion project? Do you feel like you're making a difference? Do you have excitement and joy about your work? And are you pursuing your passion work? If you answered yes, that's awesome. Keep doing it. But if you answered no, do you even know what your gifts are to the world? Have you figured out how to share them and actually get paid for it? And if not, this is your oil. This is your oil to work with. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm getting high. I cannot say enough amazing things about this oil. It has gotten me through some stressful and fearful times. It helped me 4 years ago take a leap of faith and move from the Washington, D.C. area back here to Michigan to walk away from full-time legal work and put my multi-careers totally in my hands. Totally in my hands. That's unnerving. No one's handing me a paycheck every 2 weeks, only if I work. It's been a crazy ride, and there's moments that I think, what the heck have I done? But 99% of the time, I am waking up each day driven by purpose and passion and freedom, and knowing that I'm using my unique gifts to help people and pets all around the world. And I get paid for it. Yeah, I can't get much better than that. Ula Field. It's an oil of self-growth to support you to become your best. It helps you find your purpose. It helps give you confidence. It helps you discover what's in your heart. It helps you discover your new unique gifts, and it breaks the blocks that have held you back. Okay, who needs Ula Field after that? Everybody. Everybody needs Ula Field. It is a powerhouse of 13 oils that will help you embrace your gifts and put them into action in the form of your passion work. And when you use it with the affirmation, I am pursuing my purpose in life, it works at the cellular level and really infuses your mindset. This is a major mindset oil. Stick it in the diffuser or just smell it. Wear it every day as perfume. It smells beautiful. All right, next oil, motivation. Let's work on our mental body. Procrastination and fear are all in our mind. It's not real, but it feels real, and it's a choice. So if you're not doing what you need to do because I don't have time, I don't have the resources, I don't know what to do, I don't have the money, I don't have support, my spouse won't let me, my kids won't let me, my pets won't let me, or I'm afraid, yeah, you can change all of that. Because procrastination and fear will distract you and give you all sorts of excuses not to pursue your purpose and your passion. It's that inner voice in your head. It's the ones that say, you don't have time for that. You don't have the energy for that. You don't know enough to create that. You don't know what you're doing. You're not enough. You know what? This oil busts through that to release the procrastination and the fear and to get you moving. That smells amazing. So put that in your diffuser when you set aside a little time at the end of each day and on the weekends to work on this. You diffuse the heck out of that oil. Now for your spiritual body, acceptance. Acceptance oil is the oil of not resisting. Remember how I talked about that we need to be receptive to all the signs that we're going to get once we know what we want? Sometimes we want something, we set the goal, we vision board the heck out of it, we use affirmations, we dream about it, but on a spiritual level, we're blocking ourselves because we're not receptive. Acceptance stops the resistance because we may not even know that we're doing it because it's at the spiritual level, it's subconscious. So whenever we try something new or create change, subconsciously and spiritually, we resist it. It's just how we're wired. You're not weird. This helps. Absolutely helps. It is great to get you through stressful change. It helps you to accept that change may be difficult. It helps you to accept that this is going to be time consuming and alter your life, but it'll keep you focused on the end result. And it allows you to be more open to attract the things into your life to help you pursue your purpose. Aren't those awesome? Woo, and I just blended all three of them. La, let the angels sing. All right. Now, I always like to end with books. I switched up one of my books, literally this afternoon, because I'm in the middle of a book club on it. So, I got books. For our physical body, Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod goes through 6 steps that we should do every single morning before we leave the house. You can do this each step for 5 minutes for a total of 30 minutes, or each step for 1 minute for a total of 6 minutes. Things like get moving, read, write, do vision work. This is amazing. Miracle Morning. It is what your body needs to have the work that you want. For your emotional self, Start with Why by Simon Sinek. This is an amazing book because when you are pursuing something that is all of your own creation, you're going to have days where you say, I can't do this. This is hard. I just can't do this. It's just not happening. I can't tell you how many days I've had like that. But I have a strong why, and my why changes. And every time I dig into my why, it gets a little deeper. It gets a little stronger. Read this book Because when you have a strong why, you will never quit until you get it. You will never quit. All right. Next book, I was going to recommend You Are a Badass by Jim Sincero. You can certainly get that one because this is all about how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. But I changed my mind. I'm in a book club right now. And this book is called Mach 2 with Your Hair on Fire. This is all about self-motivation, and this is all about mindset. Oh my gosh, I am only 4 chapters into it, and it is kicking my behind. This is really going to break down why you're not doing what you need to do. It is awesome. Get this book. And it's going to say at the top, totally new edition. You need to get the new edition. Unbelievable book. And it's got places where you write. So I highly recommend. And then for your spiritual self, John Maxwell has written probably 80 leadership books. I think this is the first one when it comes to personal development, because no matter what you are doing, you need to engage in daily personal development, not business development, personal development, because when you become a better version of who you are every day, your business benefits. This is one of the first that I recommend, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I mean, listen to this. The law of the mirror. You must see value in yourself and add value to others. That's one that you'll learn. The law of awareness. You must know yourself to grow yourself. The law of modeling. It's hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. The law of contribution. Developing yourself enables you to develop others. This is awesome. I have the audio, and you know what? It's been a couple of years since I've listened to it. This is going in my car. Guess what I'm going to re-listen to tomorrow? So those are the books that I highly recommend. And here's the question that I really want you all to think about. And I posted this on the Manifested Harmony Facebook page. I think I even posted it on my personal page. You can save it. Like, just download it and save it. Put this on your vision board. Because at the end of every day, I want you to ask yourself, do I feel good about today? Was I at my best today? And did I make a difference? You need to answer yes to all of that. You really do. Even when you have a day off, do you feel good? Were you at your best? Did you make a difference? Because even on a day off, you're going to make a difference for somebody. Because whatever you do is going to leave a legacy. All right. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, my word, hour and 10 minutes. All right. Are there any questions? So while I wait for questions, if you are not in Young Living and you are watching this and you're digging those products that I talked about, get your wholesale account. So whoever invited you, get with them so that you can get your own wholesale account. If I invited you, message me. I'll help you get your own wholesale account. And feel free to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where I am posting every day my self-care tips. And I have over 100 classes on YouTube that you're welcome to look at. And I'm not seeing any questions. And all right, I don't see any other. Let's see. Here's a question. If a person has a lot of decluttered type things that need to be done, and what's to do the self-care? Okay, I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. How should they share the time? If you have a lot to declutter, where do you start? Where do you start? Because you need to declutter your body, you need to declutter your space and declutter your technology. I recommend the Marie Kondo book for your space, but just simply go through everything and decide, do I need it or not? Like, am I going to use this or not? Is this, her concept is, does this bring me joy or not? So, like here in my office, I have an Atlantean quartz. Does this bring me joy? Absolutely. That's why it's here. I also have a stack of business cards from people that I've met. I've already reached out to them. They're going to go in my little folder so that they don't have to be sitting there. So it's things like that. So it's an important thing to declutter, because if you're surrounded by clutter, you're going to be so confused about what next steps to take. You know, people say, "Oh, a messy desk is a clear mind." No, it's. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. So, just dedicate some time to create a space for you, and it could just simply be a desk, and just clean it off. You don't have to do your whole house. Do the space that you're going to do this work at, to really figure out what you want to do. Yeah. Oh, how much time do I spend decluttering while still doing self-care? Decluttering is self-care. That is a self-care technique. So you really only need to declutter once. So I would focus on that. I would set aside all the time that you can to focus on you, because it's your life. It's your life. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody, for the questions. And I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. And be sure to tune in next month. We are going to be the second Wednesday of May, and we're talking about self-care in finances. So thanks, everybody, for coming here, and I will see you next month.